Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome back to the conversation. I'm your host, Greg Frye, and this is a show where we dive deep into sports, politics, business, and real talk. And on today's show, we have two big topics. The first topic will be the sad assassination of Charlie Kirk. For those of you who didn't know, yesterday, Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, activist, speaker, was assassinated while giving a speech at Utah Valley University, and thousands were in attendance. A shot came from a rooftop about 200 yards away, and he was hit in the neck and did not survive. Um, I just want to say this. Wherever you stand politically, this is a tragedy of our times. It underscores how volatile the landscape is right now. It's not just about ideology anymore. It's about safety. It's about risk, and it's about being it's about safety and risk of being in the public life. About how charged our rhetoric has become, which is sad that people can't have their own opinion and speak. I mean, you should be able to go out in front of a crowd and speak, but political violence and political advocacy violence is not nothing new. They assassinated Martin Luther King back in the day. Anybody with a voice, eventually something like this sadly could happen to you. It almost happened with our president Donald Trump. He almost got assassinated because of his opinion. Not once, but twice supposedly. There are calls across all political spectrums to calm things down, to de-escalate. But words alone aren't enough, as we know. We need more security at public events, respect and dialogue, seeing each other as people. These are the things that we need to work on as a society. If we don't do that, we're not going to get anywhere. We have to learn to respect each other, to respect each other's opinion. And if you can't respect each other's opinion, just stay out of the conversation. I should be able to have a conversation, an open conversation with my friends, with my family. But sometimes friends and family don't really want your opinion. They just want you to share the same opinion as them. So if your opinion doesn't align with them, sometimes people don't want to hear it. So I just think people should have a conversation with people that maybe shares their own opinion, or people that's open to other people's opinion. That's the way I feel. You know, I give my condolences to the Kirk family. Nobody should be killed because what they say, sadly. But it happens. You know, he had a big voice. I never listened to him. My first time I actually listened to him was this morning. I was listening to some of the things he say. Although I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, but I don't wear race on my shoulder or anything like that. So you can have your opinion, as long as it don't cross a point that I don't like. I don't like racism. I don't like people being racist in no formal way. You know, but we got to fix this. And personally, I don't think it's ever going to be able to be fixed. I think it's going to be more division than ever. The country's been dividing anyway. It's more of a division. Less and less people talk about it, how they feel. Yeah, they might be with their friends, with their family. That might be talking about people and, saying what they don't like. But they should be able to have an opinion, you know? And the world's never going to be together. Everybody's going to be divided in some form or fashion. That's just the way life is, you know. And I guess in the upcoming days, we'll figure out what happened to him, and maybe they'll find out who shot him, But again, my condolences to that. I'm pretty sure more on this topic will develop on what happened. So we'll see in the upcoming days what goes on. Maybe they'll catch the guy. Maybe they won't. And again, my condolences to the Kirk family. Now, moving right along to sports, I'm going to give you a preview of tonight's game between the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. But first off, I want to give some QB comparisons. I actually think, but before I get into the QB comparison, I want to give my take on who I think is going to win. I think the Washington Commanders are going to pull it off. Even though I'm not a Commanders fan, I like my Cowboys. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But I'm gonna give you a breakdown of week one QB comparisons. First, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders last week, he passed for 233 yards, one passing touchdown, and 0 interceptions. He also had 68 rushing yards on 11 rushes. That's pretty good. Then we're going to move on to Jordan Love. He had 188 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Although he didn't rush as much as Jaden Daniels did, so he wasn't as much as a dual threat quarterback, but he did have some good yards. And he did pretty good for his first game as well. And I'm also going to do a week one running back comparison. Ja'Cory Cross-Key Merritt, if I'm saying that right. He had 82 rushing yards on 10 carries and 1 rushing touchdown. Not too bad. I think he was a good he's filling in good for Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson only averaged maybe about 3 or 4 yards per carry last year. So, you guys might have one. And Josh Jacobs for the Packers, he rushed for 66 yards with 1 touchdown. Not too bad. Washington rushed for 220 yards on 32 carries against the Giants in week one, which is a strong performance, especially for a team looking to establish a consistent run game. The Packers' run defense in week one was solid. They allowed just 2.1 yards per carry to their opponent. Their defense played some good ball, some damn good ball. That's something the Commanders' rushing attack will be looking to test. You guys got your work cut out for you, especially if Michael Parsons plays. Even though Michael Parsons, he wasn't that good at stopping the run. He was more good at putting pressure on the QB. But Daniel's dual threat ability, plus passing, plus rushing, gives Washington an added dimension the Packers will have to account for. Daniel's rushing for 68 yards is not a small task, especially when balancing read options and quarterback runs. Now I'm going to give y'all something to watch. Can Jordan Love maintain efficiency under pressure? He had 2 passing touchdowns, but the Packers will need him to protect the ball and stretch the field. Will Washington's run zone game dominate early, or will the Packers front force more dimensional play? Will the Packers have more dimensional play in their front? How much will Jaden Daniels use his legs? If the Washington Commanders can threaten with both passing and running, it changes the defensive game plan for the Green Bay Packers. If they can do both, the Green Bay Packers are going to be in for a long night if they can do both. We'll see. But I'm going to end this show a little bit early today. I got some things to do, and we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it very soon. I'm going to try to come to you guys at least once or twice a week, probably twice a week. So like and subscribe to the channel if you like. If you want some more content on an open platform, please feel free to say what you want about this. But here's what I want you guys to take away from today's subjects. Your value often comes in versatility and adaptability. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to adapt to the people around you and your surroundings. Create your circle of people. Create what you want to hear. Create your environment on social media. If you have friends or family that's posting stuff that you don't want to hear, you don't like, just delete them. It's that easy. You create your own ecosystem of things that you want to hear and take in. That's my life lessons for today. Create your own environment of people. You guys only hang around certain people. We only eat with certain people. You only watch certain types of news. On social media, create your own environment as well. Only add people whose opinions that you want to hear if you're that type of way. If you don't like hearing people that don't think like you, get them off your page. Don't follow them on social media. It's your choice. It's all your choice. And that's my life lessons for today. You guys stay safe and continue to tune in to the conversation. Please like and subscribe for more content. It's only going to get better.